Well guys, it's been a while, but alas, I am back. Now, today, if you hadn't already guessed by the title of the video, and probably the thumbnail as well, which will most likely be kind of clickbaity to get your attention, but I passed the FTMO 200k account in just 4 trading days. And naturally, I'm pretty pumped about that. It's not my first FTMO account. I'm funded with a load of firms. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you'll know I've had funding with like every firm in the industry. But FTMO is a firm that I've traded with for a long time, and I've passed a number of FTMO challenges. But traditionally, when you pass an FTMO, you know, it's gonna take you like a few weeks to maybe a few months. Not this time, it took me just 4 days. Now, naturally, the kind of question that people were gonna ask are, well, how did you manage to pass it in just 4 days? Did you use an EA? Did you use a bot? Did you use that guy called Miguel that advertises to me on Instagram all the time that he'll help me pass my FTMO challenge? No, I didn't use any of the gimmicks. I simply passed it using the strategy that we trade on a daily basis here at KB. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you'll know that my approach to trading isn't super trendy, but it is consistent, it's conservative, and it's also mechanical, which I think is super important. My typical procedure is that whenever I'm in a period of drawdown, I will buy a funding challenge. Now you might ask, why would you buy a funding challenge when you're in a period of drawdown? I know from my own personal results what the average and what the maximum drawdown is likely to be at any given point in the strategy's history. I know this because I have all of the historical data on my system. So if I know, for example, the largest historical drawdown I've ever had is 10R, when the strategy is 5 or 6R down, I know that we're starting to get into the territory where that strategy is likely to bounce back. Because if the maximum drawdown I've ever had over, let's say 7 years, has been 10R, what is the likelihood that every other period of drawdown is also going to go 10R? Obviously, it's not super likely that that's gonna happen. If I know my average period of drawdown is 3.5 or 4R, when my strategies are a few R underwater, you know, 3, 4R, I know that we're very likely to begin to bounce back. Now, implementing some of that thinking and reasoning, I've been in a drawdown period for the past sort of 2 to 3 months. It's not been huge. We've maybe been sort of 7% down, something like that, over the period of about 3 months. And so I bought an FTMO 200k account. And over the past week or so, I took a couple of trades and, you know, I had a winner, I had a loser, nothing much was happening. On Sunday evening just gone, so pretty much coming into the start of October, we had a lot of trades in the market. I checked my markets at 10 p.m. in the evening and I saw we had just a ton of trades for the coming trading day. So I jumped on a Zoom call with the members and just gave them a breakdown of everything I was looking to do within the markets for the day ahead.
Well guys, as promised, I am now back. It's 1:15 midnight, so it's a little bit later than I'd hoped. To summarise, dollar Swiss, CAD yen, Aussie dollar, gold, dollar CAD, cable pound yen, 7 orders. Let's see how this pans out. Okay, signing off here for tonight guys. I'll get this video posted as soon as possible.
I put my orders in, I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning and everything was going nuts. All of our orders had been filled practically, bar 1 or 2, and they were all moving significantly into profit. Within a matter of hours, I had made 20k on that FTMO account and completely passed. So coming into the Tuesday, I obviously had my credentials for the FTMO verification, and you know, I just continued to trade as normal. I had a trade on Tuesday and there were a number of times where it came literally, I kid you not, 1 or 2 pips from passing the verification in the first trade.
We are now a matter of pips away from passing this FTMO challenge. I am so tired.
So I'll play this on screen just now. You can see I'm short euro pound and it's up like 9 grand. We're up like 9 grand on this trade. We need $1,000 more. And we're less than 2 pips away from hitting that profit target. But alas, we didn't manage to get it on that euro pound trade. It came back and stopped me out at a trailed stop. I re-entered, and then eventually it came back and took me out for a small loss, a few $100 there. Yesterday on euro pound I got taken out on a trail stop, shouldn't have actually been taken out. So I re-entered and then got taken out for a little bit of a loss this morning. That didn't run to target as I had kind of hoped it would do. Coming into Thursday, we had a trade on New Zealand dollar. Now I was actually at the cinema last night. Today is Friday, last night was Thursday. I was at the cinema, went to see The Sound of Freedom. If you haven't seen that movie, go and see it, awesome movie. Very, very serious subject, something that doesn't get spoken about anywhere near enough, but definitely worth a watch. But I was sitting all the way through the movie watching my phone because I'm in this trade on New Zealand dollar and we're a handful of pips away from passing this FTMO verification. So movie finishes, we head home, and I end up sitting up until about 11 p.m. at night, just sitting watching this trade, waiting for it to hit take profit. Now I could have just went to bed and just let it play out, but just with how quickly this was all happening, and the prospect of having passed this 200k in just 4 trading days, I was a little bit excited about getting it over the line, and so I sat up to effectively nurse this trade and see what would happen. Now, for probably 40 minutes straight, it just traded sideways in a 1 pip range. 1 pip range for 40 minutes. And then just as I was about to wrap up and go to bed, the candle popped up and hit take profit, bringing me just over the line. Usually towards the end, I was literally just about to say, usually in the last sort of 10 minutes coming up to candle close, you see a little bit more volatility within the candle, but there you go. We have successfully passed the verification now on this FTMO challenge, and verification done in about 72 hours. Now, I do still have 2 trading days left to complete to pass this verification totally. So basically, I'll just place a small trade on Monday morning or on Sunday evening when the spreads calm down, and that will get me over the pass line for that verification. Now, so far this year, I've already been up into the, multiple millions in funding with various different firms. But as I'm sure you're aware, there has been a lot of uncertainty around prop firms within the space over the past couple of months. We saw my Forex funds, all that legal drama and that kind of thing. And so I really do want to consolidate my funding portfolio to some of the better known and more highly reputable firms. I'm thinking about firms like FX2, who I have 200k with, Maven Trading. Hunter is the CEO of that firm, awesome firm. They are really ahead of the curve on all the legal stuff. And then of course, firms like FTMO. Currently I trade 100k with FTMO. I want to get max funding with FTMO as well. So that 100k plus the 200k I've just passed brings me up to 300k. And then I'll probably set another 100k at some point for them as well. So rather than having like 2 or 3 million in funding with a load of different firms, I would much rather have $1 million, 1.5 million with some solid firms that are a bit more reputable and that I trust just a little bit more. Now, you may wonder how much should I risk on challenges? How much should I risk on the actual funded account. I can tell you this, on a funded account, I usually risk 10% of the overall drawdown limit per trade. So if the overall drawdown limit is $10,000, I will risk $1,000 per trade. When it comes to the challenge, I double that. So I will risk 20% of the overall drawdown limit on every single position. Now, you may think I'm nuts, you may think that's gambling, you may think that's, over leveraging, whatever. I'm an experienced trader. I've been at this for 8 years now. I've traded some of the riskiest products in some of the most volatile market conditions the world has known in recent history. Trust me, please trust me, I do know what I'm doing. If you have the data on your strategy, if you have the data on your system, there is really no parameters, no tight little box that someone can fit you into with their rules to say you can't do this or you can't do that. If you have the data behind any trading decisions you make, you can make that in confidence with a clear conscience, knowing that you are doing what is right for your system and strategy. If you think 2% is too much to risk per trade, if I told you what I risk on my personal funds, you'd probably drop onto the ground and start having some kind of seizure or some asthma attack or something like that. But look, it comes down to experience within the markets and understanding your edge. Knowing it like the back of your hand will always keep you right. And the last little question here is probably, well, what strategies do you actually trade? The strategies we trade are ones that we developed on our trading floor back in 2020 and 2021. Myself and some of the top guys from our firm got our heads together and really knuckled down to develop some systematic, mechanical and data-backed trading systems, and we've been implementing them with great success over the past couple of years and teaching them as well, and our members have benefited greatly from them as well. If you're interested in learning how to trade like us, if you're interested in learning these systems, I'm going to leave a link below where you can find out more about the course that we offer, and you can send in an application form for the course as well. We don't just kind of accept anyone. There is an application and an interview process where you will be granted the ability to actually enroll in the course. Again, this is super exclusive content. This is literally how I make money in the markets on a day-to-day basis. I don't really like giving that stuff out to just any random person. So please understand, exclusive content, the process to obtain that content is going to be not so straightforward. But thanks as always for watching, guys. Pleasure to be with you again this afternoon. Take care. Do drop this a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one.